It's time to check out these Air Moray 2 slides from 2006. I've always referred to these as the hemp flip-flops, but in actuality, when you look at the color on the box, Nike describes these as tweed, vivid blue, and baroque brown. Now, don't get me wrong, on other hemp Nikes, the boxes don't say hemp, but they certainly don't say tweed either. These shoes also remind me of a burlap pack of shoes, the Crepe Air Max Premium Pack that features the Air Max 1, 90, and Burst. We did a review on those shoes just a few days ago, but the colorways and the materials are very similar to these flip-flops that you see right here. I picked these flip-flops up at a Nike factory store in Lake Elsinore. Check this out. I paid $24.99 and the retail was $50. A pretty good deal at just over 50% off. These days, when you go to the Nike factory store to buy flip-flops, I swear sometimes you'll find $25 flip-flops on sale for $24.99. Maybe this $50 pair would be $44.99 or maybe $39.99. But Nike's being very purposeful about where they send their products. So nowadays they send their flip-flops to the factory stores that are closest to water, and the shoes sell out quickly. Now, Lake Elsinore, of course, is located by a lake, but these flip-flops would have been much more popular in a place like San Diego or even Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And Nike knows that, and so nowadays they're purposely redirecting products to the places where they'll sell the best and for the most money. I want to break out one of these Air Moray 2 slides, and let's check it out. One of the best looking flip-flops of all time. Look at that beautiful shoe. I feel like the tweed is set off with that vivid blue, and you can see this visible air going all the way around the heel of the shoe. It's sort of reminiscent of the Air Max 93 or the Air Burst. What a great innovation. You don't see flip-flops every day that have visible Nike Air on them. Now, going back to the hemp or tweed upper, I thought it would be fun to break out the baby hemps so that we could compare the materials on the upper so that you can actually see that these flip-flops are more of a tweed than a hemp. Now, of course, it looks like there's hemp fibers that are sort of sewn into the tweed right here, but it's worth breaking out these baby hemps just to compare them. Now, I had this really cool exhibit in the ShoeZeum that showed barefoot walking all the way up to walking in shoes. And let me show you what I mean. Now, it started off with these flip-flops because, of course, we walk on the beach barefoot and then we wear flip-flops. And then from these shoes, I brought in the Air Rift, which was made for Kenyan marathon runners. And this shoe was supposed to mimic what it's like to run barefoot. You can even see the outsole of the shoe looks like the bottom of a foot. The shoe has a split toe right here. Look at that. So alongside the flip-flops were Air Rifts. These are being retroed in May by Nike. And then next to the Air Rift was the Air Presto, which was modeled after being a t-shirt for your feet. So sort of the shoes become less barefooted and more shoe-like, if you will, as we transition from the flip-flops to the Air Rift to the Air Presto. These shoes were on display in the innovation section at the ShoeZeum, and I remember walking Mark Parker through this exhibit, and he was looking at these shoes, and I swear I feel like this exhibit inspired the genealogy of free retro pack that featured Air Rifts and Prestos and Nike Frees and other shoes having to do with barefoot walking and running. Anyway, it's been a real pleasure introducing you to these tweed/hemp slides.